Yes.
Oh fuck, where am I?
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hyrule Chronicles for a few rupees more. I am Articulate T, the storyteller, and with me, as always, I have Alicia being played by Cress Never.
Greetings.
I have Anda being played by Alvarans.
Hello.
I have Melody being played by Rubber Pirate.
You know, if we're getting a few rupees more each time, we're going to be rich by the end of this.
Ah, you think that.
True. No, it's always that we need a few rupees more.
And I have Makoto being played by Danny Cat.
I mean, if we're doing progressively harder missions, surely we'll be getting progressively more pay.
You'd think so.
Surely.
No, but it is Artie's secret wish to model capitalism by trying to wring out as much labor as he can from us poor laborers.
I don't think I could make a convincing capitalist, if I'm honest.
I mean, you played Hyrule.
I've played Uriel, but like he was like
But
He's
also,
not
he was
convincing.
nice, so...
he was nice, yeah.
who was the guy again? Vincent Crowd.
Yeah, it was fair.
Yes.
Listen, Melody. I have a plan. I just need some rupees.
Sorry, spent all my rupees on knickknacks.
Arthur, I need you to go out there and fight some choo-choos.
Look at this tiny porcelain horse I got.
Do be aware that those little
People who know
figurines
more
are
about
very
Zelda.
dangerous.
People who know more about Zelda, what island would he want to go to? That isn't Tahiti.
That isn't.
I actually can't think of many island places except in fucking Wind Waker.
Okinawa.
But I don't have all those memorized off the top of my head. I was going on the fruit thing and was just, like freaking mighty bananas, Arthur. For tropical
Gabathy
fruit.
says this episode the gang joins an MLM.
Oh, no.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. But yes, so friends, what happened last time?
Well, on their way to Hyrule Castle Town, our party encountered a group of bulbos, which are great bull/swine-like creatures who seemed intent on harming a lone figure taking shelter on a rock outcropping and swinging some sort of metal thing around to ward them off. The party snuck up on the beasts, taking them by surprise as they rushed in to fight, with Makoto and Anda taking the lead, with a ferocious little stoat riding on Anda's back, while Melody and Alicia hurled their magics from a distance. One boar falls pretty quick to the combined might of Phoenix Force, and two soon follow. A fourth realizes the peril it's suddenly in and flees. When the dust settles, the figure gets off the rock, says that they got into this mess because of a failed experiment, and introduces themselves. Well, her name is Belinda Crane, and she explains that she attempted to create a flying machine. So far, she's managed gliding, but she hasn't gotten the landing part down just yet. The group decides to help her with dismantling the flying machine and seeing what salvage they can bring with them to town, as well as carving up the boars for meat and tusks. After finishing up, they get back on their cart with Belinda taking a place on the front. Despite the crash, Belinda seems to be pretty hale and hearty. She has no visible injuries from her most recent experiment, but she regales this group with tales of her previous experiments by way of her old scars. The group also spends some time teaching her some rude Goron phrases. Getting to town, the group realizes that Belinda Crane is no mere tinkerer, as the guards on station greet her as Lady Crane. She explains her family is of the noble sort, and despite the kingdom of Hyrule no longer being a kingdom any longer, the social status of the Crane family has not quite waned. Bringing Lady Crane back to her home, the group splits up to sell off some of their literal spoils, while the other half directly heads over to the university to actually get on with the job they were traveling to Hyrule Castle for in the first place. And I will take this hero point and give it to Robo Pirate.
Hey!
Free point.
I will take this potato chip and eat it!
Oh no.
Oh wait, I already have 3 points.
In that case, I'm taking it.
Okay. Fine.
We start
No,
with one if
but
we didn't have any, right?
Yeah.
Start with 1 if you
Yeah.
had 0. Yes.
Okay, good. Then I'm at 2.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent indeed. Let's see. There we go. So, as mentioned before, you had ventured into Hyrule Castle Town, this bustling metropolis, and then had promptly split the party, if only for a little while, in order to take care of a few bits and pieces. You had one pair take the boar meat to the market and have thus far been paid for that. And we are now catching up with the other half, who I believe is Melody and Makoto, alongside Belinda, as you head off into the more well-to-do part of town, which is where most of the religious aspects of town is found, as well as the university, typically used as the place for budding arcanists to become the lead magical authority for settlements as per Hylian rule. You can probably see the largest building in the city, the House of the Sky Cathedral, which is currently situated at the... There we go. I was wondering why music was doubling up on my end. But yes, you have you can see the massive, this colossal building, almost as big as Hyrule Castle itself, which is dedicated as a pantheistic spot of place of worship. Every deity that is at least openly and legally followed can be found within the halls of this great building. To its east, you will find the other larger buildings associated with the Royal Hylian University, a place of learning in the center of the former kingdom, now republic. And many of the other buildings, both residential and commercial here, the architecture is newer and more elaborate. Something for the well-to-do to be able to dwell in and do their morning or do their daily business. Belinda, at this point, as you kind of are moving through town, will say, "Well, I do not want to exactly hamper your own business. Thank you for escorting me back to town. Is there anything you might need of me before I make my way back to the estate and begin anew on my own little projects?"
I don't think so.
No, I don't think we...
Who was the guy who hired us? What was his name?
Do we have that letter somewhere?
Silverwind, was it?
Yeah, I think so. But
Wintersmith.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Wintersmith.
yeah, she does not.
Something wind.
It's like our clients at the university, so I don't know if you'd know him.
Not terribly familiar with many of the students there. I do interact with a couple of them when they come asking engineering questions, but not exactly something that is...
You happened to get any from Charles Wintersmith?
I believe we had asked that before, but I'm not in the
I don't
scene.
remember. I didn't re-listen to the episode.
I re-listened to it today, so that is fresh in my memory.
She'll think, I say. It does not ring a bell, unfortunately. But I do wish you luck in your search. And if there's anything you might need of me, feel free to come by the estate. I'd love the company. She'll like doff her hat and do a dramatic bow, and then probably like just put it back on her head, and we'll depart, trudging through the streets, presumably to where she lives.
Go put the cart in one of the stables, which is in a direction that we'll be leaving town. Right. Where are I meeting up with the others?
Yeah. We can all go to the
Yep.
university together.
Okay.
Believe you would be there sooner than me and Anda.
Okay. So, as you make your way to the university, I believe based off of the times that you left and how long it took you to get here, I would say it's gone midday by this point. You make your way into the larger campus of the university. The series of halls and other larger buildings surrounding open campus, where a number of individuals, most of which are dressed in like the robes of academia, sit and converse or perhaps read a book under the shade of a tree. Although, truth be told, the weather doesn't exactly permit a great deal of opportunity to sit outside. So a lot of the people who are outside will kind of find the fog and the chill.
They're mostly just walking between classes.
Yeah. It will take a little bit of time for your companions to finish the selling of the boar meat in the markets. So, what do you intend to do while waiting?
And we could find out who he is either way.
Yeah. Also, did you want to let your family know you're back in town?
I'll check if they're here.
Alright.
Okay.
Run over to whoever the nearest lecturer is and ask if her parents are in today.
Interesting. Let's see. Calendar. What day is it? It is effectively a Friday. So it's specifically it is an Impa day, which is the equivalent of a Friday.
Makoto has definitely made the "wow, they named the day after you" joke to him, but several times, and she fucking hates it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not me, it's someone else.
Yes.
But yes, it's easy, and I won't even make you roll for it. It's easy enough to find someone and ask if either of the canes are available, and one of them will think a moment and say, "Well, I believe. What would be the proper titles for these individuals?"
Are they professors at the university?
Yeah.
If so, they would refer to them as professor in the university, regardless.
Yes.
They say, well, I imagine Professor Kane is currently finishing off one of their lectures, or the morning lectures for the morning, and Professor Kane would probably be in the other building doing research or independent research. It's one of those things where it's like it doesn't
They must
occur
have
to them
some
in
way
the
of keeping
sentence
the
that
two
they
of them.
don't
Yeah.
they
Keeping
don't
the two of them apart.
differentiate which one is
Yeah.
which.
Suggestion from chat. They called their college professor bro a lot.
I don't think they're going to call them bro.
Well,
Only
depending
the fun
on
professors let
what
you do
kind
that.
of titles they have, it could be one of them is Professor Doctor and the other is Doctor Professor.
This doesn't help Makoto know which one is which.
Nope.
He's just
Melody's
like,
just gonna
yep.
grab Makoto's hand and start leading them towards the one who is doing the independent research.
Okay.
Makoto will just be dragged.
Awesome. So, you head, you drag Makoto past some of the larger buildings, ones that look quite a bit more like a series of auditoriums and things, towards one of the smaller buildings that seem adjacent to what you know to be the library. And heading inside, you can see there's a fairly kind of broad-shouldered Deku scrub. They appear to be of a succulent sort of nature, where they've got like the thick, like cactus leaves for hair. And it's kind of, it looks like it's arranged in a kind of like center parting sort of thing. They look up and say, "Yes, may I? Are you here to see one of the professors today?"
Yep. Hello again. Been a while.
Oh, Melody. Hello. I suppose you're here looking for your dad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're in the usual room. You know, just down the hall to the left, up the stairs, across the hall again. You know the way. It's fine. I don't think they.
I know the shortcuts too.
I suppose you do. In
Oh
many
boy,
instances,
shortcuts.
I don't think they'd be upset about being disturbed. They haven't asked specifically that no one knock on their door.
Well then, we'll head off that way. Thank you very much.
Alright, have fun. Bye.
Just kind of looked back down to the thing that they were reading at the front desk.
Now I want to know what the Deku's name is.
We have to ask then.
I'm not there!
Not too bad.
I've already made notes for Dad Kane and Mom Kane.
As you head through the halls, following being told that he's in the usual place, it's not difficult to then find him. You find one of many rooms that are sitting on the second floor, and sitting on the labeled on the door is like independent research 1, room 25. You give a quick knock, and he says, "What voice do I give your dad?" He says, "Come in."
Melody will lean back and then nudge Makoto to go first.
Okay, we'll go first. Let's step in.
You enter into this moderately sized room. Adorning the walls are a series of books on many different shelves, scrolls both rolled up and simply haphazardly unfurled in different places. There's a number of very complicated and delicate looking apparatus sitting on various desks around the place. Sitting next to one of them, Melody, could you describe your father for me, please?
Okay. He is a man of quite a tall height, of a unathletic build, very focused on his studies, but having a cheerful, smiling demeanor and slightly greying hair.
Kind of like...
Is he mustachioed?
Yes.
How thick is this mustache?
Excellent.
How thick is the mustache?
Like growing it.
Well, because like you have some people that are like, oh yeah, no, it's just a regular mustache, and then you have some people that are just like blessed with the thickest of mustaches.
Some people have the walrus stash.
Bushy beard.
Yes.
But yeah, he looks up and sees Makoto is already smiling. Says, hello, welcome. Might I be able? Does he see Melody behind, or has Melody decided to hide behind the wall to see how Makoto handles meeting this stranger?
Melody is not good at stealth.
Fair enough.
Melody is standing behind me, but it's perfectly visible.
Yeah.
Because Makoto is not that big. It's a
So-
slim, not particularly tall Sheikah guy.
Fair. So, he'll look over and say, can I help? Melody! Like, stands up and, like, comes over and says, come in! It's been...
There's a moment she kind of rubs her chin, thinking, this wouldn't have happened if I had under here.
Yeah, probably not. Like,
Before she will come in and give the strongest hug she can.
yes.
That's a very strong hug.
It is a very strong hug. You're a responding kind. And just kind of, like, hold you tight and say, oh, it's so good to see you again. Come here, he'll like snap his fingers and two chairs will like squeak across the floor nearby as well as his own as it kind of like props itself behind him and goes, sit, please. Tell me all about your adventures. I need to know.
Well, I've taken up a role in a new adventuring squad called Phoenix Force.
Phoenix Force.
Phoenix Force, the one.
Oh, dynamic.
We had we only had 2 missions so far, and we're here on a 3rd, so might need to spend a few days here.
You're here a mission at the university.
Oh yeah, do you know Charles Wintersmith?
Yeah. Sent us a letter, thinks he's being stalked or something.
Like it kind of like is about to go in like a pattern of like positive
Pause.
reminiscence.
Pause. I'm Makoto, by the way. Nice to meet you.
He'll take your hand firmly and shake it. It's like, nice to meet you, Makoto. Brendan. But
Is
like,
that with an A or with an O?
oh,
Okay.
Okay, you got it.
and he will like as you bring up like have you heard of a Charles Wintersmith? He's about to go into yes, I heard about him, sort of thing, and then he is then paused as you say he thinks he's being stalked. You're like, oh, that's interesting. I suppose it would explain a few potential things. Yeah, he doesn't come in to speak to me in regards to research assistance in many instances. But the last time I saw him, he did look like he was lacking sleep. I chalked it up as to standard student behavior, but that would explain a different story. Did he elaborate onto what he thought it might be?
Reread this letter. He only said side
just
effect
said-
of the magic?
He said that some of his fellow students think it might be a side effect, but he's convinced he's being watched.
They haven't been like using magic to speak with forces from out of our reality or anything, have they?
Well, if they haven't been speaking to me about it.
Any idea what his project is that he's working on?
I'm inclined to believe it must be something to do with the concept of, I don't know, time? At least I thought it was time. I thought it might be something in order to accelerate the growing of plants or something along those lines. Perhaps if they have that theory, maybe he accidentally hit himself with something and expedited his perception a little, made him think that his several days had passed when he hadn't actually had any sleep, and so on and so forth. Maybe magic is odd. It is bizarre in its nature, and sometimes these things are difficult to really track. It's why the university has decided that in many instances, study of the arcane is more of a theoretical thing. You don't need to be an actual spellcaster in order to be considered town arcanist. You just need to know what it means and what to do about it. It just helps if you're able to cast magic, I suppose. But young Wintersmith is not exactly the... I wouldn't call him the type to make assumptions broadly. Your mother will probably have a better idea as to what he is like. After all, she teaches lectures and everything, and will probably have more interactions with the students compared to myself, given, or at least recently, so to speak. But
Well, if we, we'll probably see her sometime today, otherwise we'll come see you this evening. Or whenever.
of course, we'd love to have you home
Actually,
again.
depending on you get back from work, I might just already be there.
Possibly. I'm nose deep in some very fascinating things in regards to how into how magic can inhabit objects just by their presence. It's a difficult field of study. It's sometimes, as far as I can tell, my theory is that there is a possibility that things can gain magic simply by existing, even if they are inanimate. But I need to prove that, as is the way. But if that is the case, I mean, I can always ask around my colleagues when I have the opportunity, see if there's anything we might know in regards to Wintersmith and what might be stalking him. If in most instances, it would be best, at least until proven otherwise, that we treat this as if it is actually a significant problem, like as if he is actively accurate in his assumptions and be on high alert, because we do not know. Well, he kind of like, he has a kind of look where he catches himself and realizes, no, I can't really give the university too much credit. In a lot of instances, and I'm certain that either myself or your mother has probably told you this already, the process of becoming an arcanist and doing your thesis, as it were, it's a very competitive nature. They only hand out a few of these things every so often. And there are a lot of people who wish to apply for that sort of position, have that sort of clout, as it were, when it comes to simply doing things in and around the Republic. So you do get a couple of bad eggs every so often.
Okay.
It's possible someone either wants to steal some of his work or sabotage it, or...
Yeah. Nasty stuff, that. But I have borne witness to it myself every so often. Though, thankfully, I have been
And I imagine getting called doing it isn't good for your career.
Oh, absolutely not. Prompt arrest. After all, we are messing with forces that are beyond our comprehension. They can oftentimes be quite lethal. So it's best not to complicate things further by being needlessly competitive.
Yeah, I guess.
Well,
I've seen some of the stuff magic can do.
oh, I do not doubt, especially if you desire to partake in the active role of adventuring. Haven't had many of those. Well, we have had many of those. Less equipped and a bit more foolhardy by comparison. But, well, he shrugs a bit. In a world as marvelous as ours, I suppose there is always the want to go and see it and all of its dangers therein, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Dangerous things are exciting.
Exactly. But yes. I suppose as part of your task, you'll be here for as long as it takes to either convince Charles that he is not being stalked or find the stalker, eh?
I
Yep.
think that would be the shot, yeah.
Very well. As is custom, then, given that we have the means to do so, it would be remiss of me to not offer you you and your companions suitable lodging for the time that you need to do your work.
Thank you. One of them's a Goron. I don't think there's any other dietary requirements.
Should be fine. What type of Goron do you know?
What type
Real
is that?
big.
Skate up.
Skytop.
Oh, one of the big fellows. Interesting. Well, more than welcome as always. We shall do our best.
He's about this big as Melody stands on her tiptoes and like holds up her hand.
I see. Yes. Well, we should definitely have the room for them. Absolutely. And they are more than welcome. And we'll do our best to accommodate for dietary requirements. I can always make sure to make a brief stop at the nearest stonemasons to get their finest cuts.
Wonderful. Well, I'll see you back at home. Let's go talk with my mum.
Of course.
All right then.
Good luck on your research.
Thank you very much. I shall see you both later tonight.
Melody will hop up and will lead the way again.
So you lead the way out of the research building and towards one of the auditorium halls. Just as you kind of get there, you see coming out of one of the lecture halls like a throng of students, all of whom like either discussing their own research or just the day-to-day things. And as you peer inside, down at the other end, next to a large chalkboard with a series of lights to illuminate things that's previously been written like in demonstrations and calculations and instructions and stuff like that, would be your mother, Lisa Kane. Would you be so kind as to describe your mother?
Okay. She is a rather beautiful woman with long blonde hair, a curvy matronly figure, and similar to the father, a constant smile and jovial attitude to everyone.
Very well. So as you kind of enter in, Lisa will hear the telltale footsteps and will turn back and almost expecting like a student who have left something there will look up and see you and the smile widens and says, Melody, my dear, and we'll like move around the podium in order to like meet you halfway up the stairs between the seats.
Similar to with the father, she will launch forward for a hug with slightly less crushing force.
Yeah, she will hug you back. As she kind of like releases you, does the whole kind of checking things, see how you are, like physically, see if you're hurt or anything, or like just kind of check you over a bit. Oh my dear, sweet Melody, it's so good to see you again. Have you gone and spoken to your father yet?
Oh yeah, went to him first. You were busy lecturing.
Yeah, well, that is fair. That is fair. And she'll look over and see Makoto say, "Oh, hello, dear. Are you a friend, my dear daughter?"
This is my team member, Makoto.
So yes, I am.
She'll reach out a hand to shake.
Yep,
And say,
figure out.
lovely to meet you, Professor Lisa Kane. So, I suppose you must have been. It has been a fair bit of time since we spoke to each other. So, please enlighten me. What have you been getting up to?
Well, joined an adventuring party called Phoenix Force with Makoto and two others. We've gone on 2 missions. On a 3rd one here. Need to track down a Charles Wintersmith.
Ah, Charles, I see.
Yeah, he seems to think he has a stalker.
I've heard tell of something along those lines. He hasn't come to me about it directly, of course. He's currently in the process of preparing his thesis.
He said he has to watch about it, but
yes,
apparently there's been nothing.
The Hylian Watch are limited in what they are capable of doing in a lot of instances. But then they are a largely volunteer organisation, so I suppose it's make do with what you have. Essentially, how do I explain this? For the most part, your skill here, especially in the magical theory degree, it determines effectively the cost of your tuition. The better you do, the less. The better you do, the less you have to pay, because essentially the university sees your skills as valuable enough to sell on for a further. I say sell on, but they see you as a valuable asset. And your tuition, the greater tuition for lower skill, covers the potential cost, I suppose, of effort. And she kind of like does roll her eyes a little bit at that. It's like the potential cost of effort it would take in order to teach you the things that you would need to learn. It does.
Don't worry, Mum. We won't tell anyone that you consider the students as cattle.
That does kind of like the faux kind of I never sort of like pose, but then goes. Of course, that does mean that a lot of students will be vying for certain positions, and especially with magical theory, it is quite limited. Given that, after all, we do not have that many settlements that require a arcane expert. But still, having that degree is very useful for other professions, and a mark of status, truthfully. And in turn, if you are that skilled, I should say, then what occurs afterwards is that some teachers will take on private tutelage in order to focus on individuals they see as very worth it, and those places are incredibly limited, and that is what leads to an eventual thesis and getting your degree. Mr. Wintersmith is one of those individuals. He is very adept at what he knows, and as his field of research is actually quite interesting. Not many mages are in turn really in tune with the aspect of chronomancy, to give it its technical name. Ultimately speaking, however, there are due dates and deadlines. Charles's deadline is a couple of weeks away, so he has a bit more time, though that would then put the pressure on whether or not he is being stalked, as he so claims.
Yeah, we got the theories of maybe someone wanting to either steal some of his research or try to sabotage him, but we haven't met him yet, so.
Well, I would say that the best place to start would be them. I do not know where I don't know if he spends much additional time outside of his studies. If he's going to be studying anywhere, then he may have afforded a private room in the library in order to do much of his studying. There is a popular place, a hangout place, for many of the students nearby. I'm trying to recall what it's called here. See if I can roll a thing for memory. Oh, that went out of the dice tray.
Doesn't count if it's not on the tray.
She says, I remember. I believe it's called the Comfy Table. It's a fairly small tavern, a bit closer to the commercial districts of Hyrule Castle town. A bit more down to earth compared to a lot of the establishments on this side of town. But if he's not in one of his research rooms, and if he's not in the dormitories trying to get some sleep, then he is more than likely there.
Alright, we'll regroup with the rest of the party before we go and actually find him, I think.
We're also going to see you at home. Might need to spend a day or two here for this mission.
And Brendan has already offered accommodations. Good.
Exactly.
Well, if he didn't, I would.
As I told Dad, one Skytop Goron, no other dietary requirements.
Understood. I'm sure that we can.
What about Renji?
We'll buy him some stuff, don't worry.
No
They'll
worries.
have stuff for a parish.
I know.
Goron is a more selective palate.
But dietary requirement is still, like, obligate carnivore.
Yeah. They've got meat.
Sure, the Melody will then take a moment and look at Makoto, unless you have anything you need.
Not particularly.
This is the part.
Want? That's another
vegan.
that's another question.
Oh, I was making a shit joke. Don't worry about it.
Lisa will kind of nod a bit and say, well, if that's the case, I will not stop you from going about your very important work. I need to prepare for the next lecture as it is. So if that is all, then I shall see you at home. It's good to see you again. And you're kind of like going for another hug.
Melody will return it with full force.
Hell yeah.
I was just gonna quietly watch.
Melody will look at Makoto. Do you want to join the hug?
Nah, I'm good.
But yeah. So, as you depart the building and head outside into the largest sort of campus, it is there that you see Anda and Leisha make their way from the markets and onto the campus itself.
Now, Anda, I'm curious. How does Anda react when Lisha is almost about to pin someone working at the university to the wall and saying, "We're looking for two people. One girl about this high, and then this young man about this high. They're called Melody and Makoto. They're supposed to be waiting for us here."
I think it's kind of the aspect as Leisha is about to do that, just to kind of like, I mean, Leisha's not doing the wrong thing. It's just tact. And so it's more just kind of like a making things gentle. Anything that's just kind of like the going to pin someone to the wall. It's definitely like the gentle hand on Leisha's shoulder, so the person has means to disengage if they wish.
And mind you, Leisha has a +2 in strength. So if it wasn't for Anda stopping them from...
Yeah, I doubt many of the nerds in here have +2 in strength.
Yeah.
Unless they want to be like strength wizards.
I cast Fist!
Yeah.
Magi.
Magi would generally go for Dex.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are strength or dex, but yes, probably.
yeah. So as you guys meet up,
Oh, there you are. Sorry,
Hi.
young fellow.
yeah, it's
Hey,
Yeah,
Clark.
he would. It's just like, yeah, he didn't know where we were.
Clark just kind of like looks to Ven, is like, oh, fuck, just like shrugs it off and like. heads
Getting
back.
lucky with the ladies? Treat her nicely.
Stop! I'm going to get a drink. Fuck it.
Yeah, so there you are. Did you find Mr. Wintersmith yet?
Now I got a
Uh,
lead.
Got laid, but
Oh.
also checked in with Melody's parents.
Oh, right.
They were the ones who gave us some information.
Look good.
Turns out one of them lectures the guy.
Oh.
Anyway, he's either going to
So-
be up in one of the study rooms in the library or some pub that I've already forgotten the name of.
The comfy,
Comfy
table.
table.
The comfy
Of which
table.
we do not know, because we weren't there.
Well, shall we try the pub first?
I
Seems
was
to
gonna
be about
ask
that
if
sort of
people were
time of
hungry.
day.
Oh, I could. Yeah, sure.
Alright.
This way.
All
And is
right.
this
Melody.
pub on campus?
No, it's
I don't think so.
No, it's over this way apparently. It's like pointing away from the university.
Yeah. Feel free to give me a society or a diplomacy check to navigate your way to the comfy table.
How about a law Hyrule Castletown?
That works.
Oh. I could do diplomacy. I'm
Thank you.
trained in diplomacy, though it doesn't look like it.
Is it trained or? Oh, okay, it is. Cool. I thought it was untrained improvisation because so much stuff around there.
I do have untrained improvisation.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I don't have any
with-
skills to be useful for this, so I'll just follow along.
Yeah, with Melody knowing the general whereabouts of the comfy table, and combined with Leisha asking for general directions or asking where the best drinking spot is for students, you do find the comfy table set in a much busier street and a much smaller building besides. The comfy table appears to be a small, fairly cramped building, where there are a fair few people coming in and out. It being just after midday, like about 2 p.m. I suppose. You do see that there's at least a few open spaces as the lunch rush is coming to a close, and the students are getting back to their lectures and getting back to studying after a midday break. Inside, there appears to be at least one bar and several tables. It being a tavern as opposed to an inn, there doesn't appear to be any accommodation for rooms. It's just a place to get drink and food. Poking your head in, let's see if I can find myself here. You find that there is a swarthy-looking Rito with features much like a magpie. Is behind the bar and currently very briskly preparing a few things. It looks like they're preparing some food to be used as on-the-counter snacks for folks. And there are a couple of people who are clearly dressed in their student robes, either eating or drinking or having a rather entertaining time, despite the fact that it is early in the afternoon. But yeah, you do see one or two people sitting down to drink by themselves, or just
Looking on stuff on the tables.
yeah, they prefer to study here as opposed to being in a formal study room. They just find it easier to do that, something along those lines. But yeah, so
Gonna
Does
head up
anyone look
to the-
particularly stressed, as in bags under their eyes and a little jumpy or looking over their shoulder?
I'm gonna just
what-
walk up to the bartender.
Yeah. I would say, as you walk up to the bartender, Anda, what's your perception bonus?
8. I always feel bad taking a look at Anda's perception bonus compared to Reese's because Reese's is much higher level and a wisdom caster.
Yeah.
Double Anda's level. Yeah. Looking about, it's difficult to see if anybody had, like, you do get a couple of people who look like they're sleep deprived, but you can also see that they're currently working on something, so they might have just left something to a deadline and are working on it as best they can, having pulled an all-nighter and still going.
I think Melody will just go up to the nearest person, ignoring whatever state they're in, and ask, "Hey, have you seen Charles Wintersmith?"
I'll go
Before
with
before
Makoto.
we do, because Makoto has gone up to the bartender first.
Yeah, I was gonna ask them if he knew Charles Wintersmith and if they were any chance they're in today.
He'll pause his preparations and we'll think on it, and then we'll kind of look down the bar. One of the people by themselves, you see to be this average built Hylian with sort of like reddish brown hair, mustache. His skin is pale, he has bags under his eyes. He is wearing student robes. He's not working on anything, and he's currently staring at a stein of, you believe to probably be an alcoholic drink, but it's still filled to the brim, so he's probably been staring at it for a while and hasn't touched it. And he says, I think that's him over there.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
As I turn around and see the others, see that Melody's going to try to tell someone, just tap her on the shoulder, like, it's like,
Ah, okay.
So as you head on over, he doesn't seem to have taken much notice of you. What are your I know Anders got a +8, but what's your bonuses?
+7.
Who
Perception
perception?
+7.
7.
What are 7s?
7.
Melody, you are the one. Actually, no, I'll do one for Anda as well. Hold on, 1 second. Yeah, so Anda followed by Melody. You are the ones who notice that it's not so much that he's staring into his drink. It looks like he is staring through his drink, as if he's on the cusp of falling asleep.
Mr. Wintersmith.
Like he like having suddenly just shot awake. Like the drink.
Just gonna raise both hands
Um,
to be like, not a threat.
Oh, sorry. I'll like.
Good.
You'll look over.
I'm Anda. This is Fernix Force. So kind of gesture to the rest of the party. We are some of the adventurers that you hired to take a look into what you got going on. That's probably making it difficult for you to sleep.
Pull out the ladder to show him this proof.
Oh, you're from
It's-
Utah. Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, like leans out.
Alright, sorry about the delay. We had a more pressing matter to deal with on the way over.
No, it's yeah, feel free to sit down. Let me know if there's anything that you want to ask first. Sorry, it's been.
As soon as he said feel free, Makoto was already sitting down.
Alicia also takes a seat, but they keep quiet because while they enjoy winding people up and like startling people and making them a little bit uncomfortable,
Mm.
this guy does look like that would give him a heart attack.
Probably right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So why don't you start by telling us how long this has been going on? Is there any particular times on when this feeling happens? Is it a constant thing? Just some details, general details.
Well, since when I sent the letter, it was about, he starts like counting the days. It's almost a week ago, right?
It is currently the 19th of Bagua, if that helps.
Oh yeah. So I sent it, I think, on the 14th, express delivery. Then back then I thought it was just a feeling that I was being watched. You know, just the uncanny feeling of like eyes on you. Then since then I've been trying my best to continue. People have been telling me that it's nothing, or it's just, you know, researching magic does things to you. Ooh, wiggles his finger.
And we all know what that woo does to you.
Yeah.
I also do the hand gestures.
He takes up the stein and takes a drink, and as he puts it to one side, the person who's sitting close to can peer into it. It's not even alcoholic, it's just water. And
Gotta be hydrated.
yeah. He says,
This time I wish I had prestidigitation.
I thought, you know, after a time, I thought it was just, you know, just because I'm hoping to get accepted into one of these like thesis programs, right? You know, get taught by a professor directly, write a thesis, get a bigger qualification. You know, I want to be able to be someone who can protect a town. But
Understandable.
The couple of days ago, I noticed that a number of like key bits of equipment are missing, and other bits and pieces gone. I know that I put them in a specific spot. I wrote them down, and thing is, ironically, there wasn't even like stuff that I was going to use for myself, really.
Yeah, what kind of equipment would you even need?
Well, for my area of study, it would be things like timepieces, sand timers, really simple things. But
So symbolic representations of time?
practical
things to help-
equipment,
Things to help you keep track of time to make
Yeah.
sure you haven't messed with it.
kinda. But most of those have been untouched. The stuff that has gone missing is something that I'm hoping to help another student with, because they need help with their studying, and I wanted to help them.
What other student is this?
Millie Crane.
And what's she working on?
I think she's working on something that's like planar. Is that the right word? Planar?
Planar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't mean to interrupt, but is that any relation to Belinda Crane?
He kind of thinks.
Don't
a
know.
moment.
That's fine. That's fine.
he thinks a moment, and then like there's a like his eyes go a little wider in recognition. He's like, oh yeah, maybe, but they're engineers. They don't really do. Belinda's an
Maybe
engineer.
this one wants to branch out a bit.
Maybe.
Not
It's a
everyone wants to
shift
do
to
the
go to
same.
another
Not everyone
plane.
wants to do the same things as their parent.
But yeah, she's not going for a private study. She's just going for a standard degree, which is it's fine. And like I'm willing.
Not doing the same type of magic you're doing.
Yeah. So she's working on a planar thing. I can't. And he like holds up a hand like so a bit, and then like taps his lips with his finger and says, I can't talk about it. It's very like hush sort of thing when coming up to a presentation.
It's fair. Not your secret to tell.
Hers is coming up. Her presentation is coming up next week. So in addition to my own studies, I'm also helping her with her studies, and then there's this. I think whoever's like keeping an eye on me is like. They're stealing some of my stuff, yeah, but they're also stealing stuff that I'm using to help her with, and that stuff can be pretty expensive. Like
This feeling you got of being watched. Where exactly were you picking up this feeling? Which locations?
Well, I would have said mostly around the university, but I spend most of my time at the university, and I do feel it when not on campus. So it varies.
Is it kind of just general places, or is it more of the what's it called, like specific places? Like, if you're at where your residence is, do you feel it in the living area, or is it just in your room, or is it just kind of like, can you feel it now, Mr. Krabs? Sorry.
Sir Crustacean.
I don't think I feel any of it now. It's most prominent when I'm at the university, but there's no set time. He shakes his head a little. Says, I'm unsure. The best thing I could.
Have you ever felt it when you're alone in a room?
Yes.
Can
you
I
feel it when you're in a crowded
magic?
room?
Yeah. Well, to answer the question, yes. To detect magic, yes. Feel free.
I'll try and cast it a little surreptitiously.
While
If
you're
I
doing
need to
that,
roll for that in particular, then
I don't.
while you're
let me
doing
know.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna look around the room. Because Makoto may know a few things about tailing people and observing people.
What?
So may want to roll some sort of check to see if anyone is paying attention to this conversation a bit too much.
Let's see. So cantrip. So we'll get onto that in a second, but we'll do the detect magic first. So cantrip 2, which means it's the basic thing. No information beyond the presence or absence of magic. Choose to ignore magic you are fully aware of, such as magic items or ongoing spells of you and your allies. You do a cursory sweep with detect magic, and you have to do another ping, because at first you just said, yes, magic is present, but then you kind of catch an eye of one of the other students who are in the bar, and will see like they're currently like twirling like magical energy around their fingers as they kind of like analyze and then write down notes with their other hands. It's like, okay, so do it again, ignoring that guy.
Fuck that guy.
You do detect magic, but within 30 feet, but it's difficult to say whether or not it is like something else that is strictly out of sight. This is a bar favored by students, and this university is very prominent in terms of its magical theory stuff. So it may just be something. It may be a lot more common here than what might be expected. Makoto, give me either a perception check or a lore shika, if depending on whether or not you're actively looking out or trying to rely on like techniques that you would be aware of in order to find the appropriate spots.
18 for lore shika.
Okay. You give a cursory glance around the room and the street outside through one of the windows. The room here is too cramped. You can tell, at least from the people that you can see in the room, there does not appear to be anybody visible who is like attempting to hide glances that they might be looking at Charles or you as a group in particular. Looking outside, though, the street is busy enough in order to hide somebody's movements, and there's at least one or two low enough rooftops that there might be a place up there that someone might be keeping an eye on the place or just watching the entrance. But as far as you can see, right now, there does not appear to be anybody who is watching you. At least you can detect, like, you can assume where they might be, but you don't seem to see anybody within those spots.
Just keep glancing at those places every now and then, just in case.
I think the thing is we're kind of gathering a bunch of information. What I would like to do is a recall knowledge check to see if I probably don't have the skill for it, given all I've got is religion and nature. Much like someone else, but to kind of just try to recall if I've heard of anything that might be interested in such time pieces or attracted to chronomancy or anything that might be like trying to planar stuff, try to push behind the veil to trick or poke at this guy.
Give me a recall knowledge on. You could probably use either religion or society. Either one works.
That's an excellent question. I shall do religion because bigger number, even though I have religion and society. You know what? I shall make that fabulous because why not?
Amazing.
Yes, 8. So that is the lowest I can get, making it fabulous. Or sorry, it's 10 or it's 11 or higher. That's that. So that would be 28. Sorry, my bad.
With a 28 religion, the most obvious point that you could probably have when it comes to time and chronomancy would be Chronica. But you can't think as to reason why a follower or an agent of Chronica would want to be taking anything from this erstwhile time mage in any capacity.
Maybe he is about to invent a time machine.
Is odd, so to speak, that anybody would have that kind of focus. It's possible that like, granted, as simple as things are, like a sand timer and a number of like equipment like timepieces and everything, like watches, he implied that he has various timepieces, but if he has a watch, like a clockwork watch, that is a fairly recent invention, so that might be worth a lot of money, and hold some kind of like religious value in a sense, but it's difficult to say. Oddly enough, time, like, as far as you can tell when it comes to time magic, at least even in a religious aspect, there's a startling lack of information.
Not many time wizards out there.
Not many time wizards out there.
And time wizarding is probably hard.
It's like, it catches your attention because it's pointedly absent.
I mean, time wizarding is very hard, but imagine the daylight savings.
Could
Wait,
kill
actually,
daylight
fuck that.
savings and save us all from it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the real conspiracy. They want us to stop that and they want us to not do that.
Yep.
Turns out the enemy is a big DST.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Are you feeling up to taking us to where you're doing your studies? So maybe we could kind of get an idea of around, or maybe there's something new missing, and we can probably start there. Does he have a watch on at the moment?
He doesn't. It wouldn't be like a wristwatch. It would be probably be like a pocket watch at most. But like, he
Oh, those are attached to chains.
yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
He finishes off his water. He'll put a couple of rupees on the bar, and say, "Sure, let's. I'll take you to the room that I usually use for study."
All right. Gonna keep my head on a swivel the way we're going, just in case.
As you make your way back to the campus, it doesn't take you too long. Give me, for those keeping their as noted, keeping their head on a swivel, give me a perception check.
Sure.
Oh boy, perception.
Don't want to use my hero point. No.
I think as
it's fine.
I think as the others are kind of keeping a look around, I'm asking them some more questions like, are you a generally pious man? Have you kind of talked to some of the priests or others of Chronica? Get an idea about it, since it's all kind of related tangentially, at least.
Well, as he talks, he thinks about it and says, "Well, I did speak to a couple of people at the temple who are, excuse me, who are dedicated to Chronica. I asked mostly because he shrugs and basically like it's one of those things where he just kind of goes like, well, the gods are real, so like shrug. They'd have.
Well, I said, are you a particularly pious man?
Yeah. And it says, I've spoken to a couple of people from who represent, I would think, Chronica, but nothing seems to. They don't think it's possible to have too much, if any, control over time. He yawns. It says, I imagine, like, I don't know. I'm not one to believe that like they're purposefully keeping anything from anybody. I fully believe them. That I guess manipulation of time is largely incapable of being accomplished.
Also sounds quite dangerous considering what someone could do with it.
Yeah. I'm hoping at least to clarify, like, in addition to its functions, also the massive headache that would occur with it. It's not something that I intend on doing anything with just understanding it, I suppose. It was one of those
We'll
things.
take the Chronomancer subclass thing later.
Um, yeah, it was like I wasn't really anticipating much with it. I think I just picked it because it was. At the time, it seemed like an easy win. He shrugs. It says, "I know that sounds weird. Just like, how is time magic an easy win? Well, no one's really done any studying on it, so anything I presented would be new. So." It's like I'd literally be leading the field just by existing.
Yeah, I guess that is true.
As he talks with an 18 and a 19, Lisha and Melody, you do catch a couple of glimpses. Ones that linger for a little longer than would be intended for the most part.
Curious.
As you're walking through, there appears to be, in student robes, there appears to be a Hylian who has like light blonde hair that's been cut into a short bob, and she seems to kind of clock Charles and then clock the rest of you, and like is kind of curious, like, that's interesting. Like, it was not even like hiding the expression, just kind of a case of like,
Just a you're new.
it's like, why has a student got a bunch of armed well, I say armed adventurers, why they've got like 3 people and a tank following them around?
Yeah, I think Anders the only one who's visibly armed.
Yeah.
With my arms, I
Armored.
don't have weapons.
Yeah, armored. None of us have weapons.
Yeah.
I have a staff.
But you wouldn't heart a psycho pump with her walking stick, would you?
No.
But yeah, so you kind of clock her, and the other person that you clock appears to be a tall, imposing Gerudo, with the kind of the chalky, darker skin tone and shock white hair that comes with a Frostwalker Gerudo. She kind of like, she doesn't linger long, but you can tell by instances that she like sees Charles, frowns, like a kind of a sort of like a, oh, it's this asshole sort of thing, and then like just keeps walking past you. So there's definitely recognition from those 2 people.
Seeing these 2, I would like to use a ghost sound to create a whisper just next to... Oh no, never mind, I can't create intelligible words.
Yeah.
You could just nudge someone if it's one of us.
The cantrip you're looking for is message.
Yeah, it's the cantrip I'm looking for is currently unavailable. I'll nudge Makoto and kind of point out the 2 that I saw staring. Don't think they like him very much.
Alright. I'll keep a lookout, and if they show up again, I'll try and take a closer look.
Thank you. So, young man, just apologize for the for my rudeness, but what is it you're looking for from us?
Just to see if there is someone who's stalking me, and if so, get them to stop.
All right. And if there isn't,
I'll pay
what
you
would
all
you?
the same, but like, it's peace of mind is effectively what I'm looking for at the end of the day.
Something tangible.
Yeah.
Evidence.
Yes. Well, I suppose looking at the places you've been and seeing what we can glean might be a good first start.
Yeah.
Did anyone have any other questions for
Well,
Charles?
as we're going on, because we've been walking and talking, so.
Any people in particular that don't like you? That you know of?
He kind of like thinks a moment and says, well, I hope not, but maybe.
Is the Frostwalker Gerudo out of earshot?
Yeah, they've since walked on.
Hmm. What about that Gerudo fellow that we just passed?
Oh, he kind of
She
takes a
doesn't
moment
seem to like you.
and then like grimaces a bit and says, I suppose we're all trying to vie for a spot to get, private tutelage sort of thing.
One of your rivals.
I suppose that's probably Mika. She's as far as I can tell, like as he's explaining this, he's leading you to like towards the library building.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's like actually leads you up the steps into the double doors that head inside, he says there's a few of us that are dedicated to this sort of thing. There's myself, there's Mika, who you've seen, there's Mika Vorpal, I think is her full name. There's Angela.
Any relation to Amy? I'm kidding. Don't worry about it. I'm joking.
There's Angela Cinders, who's highly unlike me, blonde hair.
Bob?
Yeah. There's Basra Ice Hollow. There are Lake Zora. And then there's, at which point, as he gets to that bit, with cosmic narrative timing from the desk near the front, at the front of the library, there's a man who goes, or there's a man who speaks up and says, Mr. Wintersmith, and Charles looks over and says, "Oh, hi, Ruben. I need to get back into the study room. Is it possible I could have the key?" And Ruben, who's this tall, thin-faced, slick-backed, rounded Hylian, who's just has this snooty, condescending look, like seems to be chiseled into his face. Looks at Ruben, or looks at Charles, and then looks at the rest of you and says, "You're not hosting any kind of parties or anything, are you? You're not doing anything untoward? And those rooms are meant for studying."
Oh God, I wish. I am deliberately saying that in front of him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It looks over at you and it's like, what? And Charles goes like,
big shit-eating grin.
Charles says, no, they're helping me with the thing. They just need to have a look around the room, just to kind of make sense of one or two things, if that's okay. We won't be in there long. I'll return the key. I'll make sure they don't make a mess. And Ruben just kind of rolls his eyes and says, "Fine, I suppose you do still have it booked out for the rest of the day." And he'll reach into like a secure drawer and he'll pull out a numbered key, which he'll then hand to Charles and say, "Like I said, if we find that you've been making a mess or destroyed any property, then that's going to be on you. I'm going straight to the dean." And Charles goes, "Yeah, I get it. All right. Thank you, Ruben. This way. And we'll just kind of lead you up the nearby stairs.
Could I get a vibe check on Ruben? Is he just a dick, or is he specifically trying to sabotage Charles here?
Just with a big smile, just as we're going past, like, don't worry, we'll be on our best behavior.
With a sense motive check, hard to tell. He could just be a bit of a prick.
Yeah, Makoto is just sensing someone that he wants to wind up.
There's something we did in Hyrule Chronicles Campaign 1 that we did with people who are pricks. So
Yeah.
Renji just kind of slips down Leisha's shoulder and then sneaks just behind Ruben's feet. That's our little as he farts and returns. The tradition returns!
Yes.
Oh,
Guy's surname wouldn't have to be Rickshaw, would it?
if asked, Charles says, no, it's Force White.
No.
Spelling, please.
Maybe they just didn't. Maybe they just didn't take the man's name in the relationship.
Maybe not.
That's assuming that Rickshaw was ever capable of having a relationship with
point.
anybody.
Hey, some of the
Good
worst
point.
people in the world have children.
That's true. That's fair.
Yeah.
Force White. Is,
Remember, he was a noble. There would have been some insistence
that's fair.
on having heirs.
Yeah. Force White is spelled Forswhyte.
Forswyte.
HWYT.
Ah, yes. White.
White. Force White.
Thank you.
No worries.
He must have the powers of Force White.
What?
Is he also studying time magic?
Pardon?
To say, is he also studying time magic? Is that what give you foresight?
Well, it's not so much that they've. He is another person who wants to get the position, but each individual student has their own different thing, I guess.
And is this Millie also up for the position?
No, she's just going for a regular degree.
Yeah, we mentioned
Good
that.
to know. Good to know.
Yeah, after a bit, he'll lead you to one of the upper rooms, as from a hall, a private study area where inside you'll see a singular desk. It's much like a scaled down version of Brandon's private research space. There's like a couple of bookshelves, a set of drawers, a desk, just a nice calm space where one person or a group of people could sit down and do their studying away from everything else. It's actually quite picturesque in this instance because at the back of the room you can see a set of double doors which lead out onto a small balcony that overlooks the campus just outside the library. So it's fairly pleasant, all things considered.
I want to go up to the window balcony doors and see if they've been tampered with at all.
Okay. Give me.
See very wrong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my hero point this one.
Mm,
That's better.
27?
27.
No, that is. You rolled a 12. No, not a 9.
I rolled a
Never mind.
9.
I can't count.
It's okay. But yeah, with a 27, you can see that the doors here have not been tampered with thus far. They seem to be more or less left as they are intended to be. The locking mechanism on this one doesn't appear to be like a key lock. It appears to be a latch that is on the inside of the doors.
Can I see anything else with that roll in the room?
Utilizing that roll for the rest of the room, yeah, it doesn't appear to be that anything here, at least today, has been tampered with. There doesn't appear to be any disturbances that marks everything out of place, and double checking with Charles as you do so, seems like everything is as it should be. The key went into the lock as appropriate, and everything seems to be all right, at least for now.
That Ruben guy, you got a spare key?
There are spare keys, but you'd have to get, because library duty is one that's shared amongst all the students. He'd have to go and get a member of staff to bring out the spare keys in case a key is lost.
But there are other keys.
There are other keys, yeah.
Shot in the dark, just to kind of rule it out. There any staff that don't like you?
Oh, I really hope not.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if they didn't, they wouldn't make it known to him.
You'd be
They might have to
surprised from what I hear.
Hmm.
Some staff are just dicks.
I guess it depends on the school.
Is there anything missing? I mean, obviously we haven't been here before, so.
Let me have a look. I've only been out for a little while. He'll go around the room. He'll find the bits and pieces that he's like secured away. All the books seem to be in order and not damaged. Everything seems to, as far as you can tell, seems to be okay. And he, like, after doing like an itemized list, as far as he is aware, he will say everything seems to be okay. At least I think so. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. I was only out for like an hour or so.
And you keep the stuff that you're using to help your friend in this room as well?
Some of it, but not all of it. A lot of it is back in my dorm.
Yeah, which stuff's which?
He'll like set aside like the occasional books on like because as I said, there hasn't really been much of any research in terms of time magic, but so a lot of the resources he has is just the concept of time and like religious texts from Chronica.
Yeah.
But then like the small bits and pieces of equipment, the pile is quite small, similar in size to the other pile that he presents, which is much more detailed books that relate to interplanar stuff and the concept of realms and all that kind of stuff. And some of the equipment there is more overtly expensive. Like there is a silver mirror among the equipment that seems to be sat there. He'll point to the mirror and say, that's the second mirror I had to buy. The first one disappeared. That's why I assume, at least at that point, maybe someone stole it because they needed the money, maybe. But
Most thieves wouldn't come to the same place multiple times.
I have a question. Of the items, the objects in this room here, which ones are supposed to be magical?
none of them.
None of them. I cast Detect Magic again.
Okay, you cast that magic. Nothing in this room appears to be magical besides the stuff that you possess or are already aware of.
Alright.
Any
Good.
gaps? No, he's already confirmed everything's there.
Just gets and shiggles. May I, as I kind of gesture towards the silver mirror?
Sure.
Cool. I'd like to look around the room through the mirror to see if I see anything, given that it is a silver mirror of some, and it's apparently wanted by some creature.
Okay. You look around the room through the reflection of the silver mirror. It appears to not present anything new or out of the ordinary through that reflection.
Damn, I'm handsome, and I put it back down.
Yes, my dear friend, you in fact rock.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm solid.
I'll check around outside a bit. I'll catch up with you guys later, and I'll step out of the room and position myself in such a way where I can like see the corridor, but I can't be seen, and just wait to see if anyone like comes to try and sneak down it.
Okay. It's a little bit of time. You do occasionally catch a glimpse of Ruben, who is who comes upstairs. He has like books under one arm, but he like you can give me a it's a 7, isn't it? Your perception.
Yes.
Okay. You can tell that he's like hesitating at the top of the stairs, a little bit, like peering down the corridor just slightly, and then like he shakes his head, and then he goes like takes the books elsewhere, and then makes his way back downstairs. Another one.
Can I get a look at the covers of those books?
Oh sure. They appear to, as far as they don't seem to be related in any capacity. It might be that he's just returning books to the shelves that people have brought back to him, as part of his.
Are there shelves upstairs?
Yeah, they're like before you get to
Okay.
the corridors that lead into the private study areas. There's a portion of the library that has got shelves and a couple of desks where you can sit down and read. As you continue to watch before the others might be inclined to leave the room, you do see one instance of a slim-figured Lake Zora more or less do the same thing that Ruben did, just without the books bit. Like gets to the top of the stairs, like looks down the corridor, shakes his head, and comes back, like heads back down the stairs.
Similar vibe on him?
Similar vibe, though a bit more hesitant.
Alright. Then I will slip back down the corridor and pop my head into the room and be like, hey, that's some weird behavior.
Well, these people are students, so that's to be expected, but do tell.
Not typical student behavior. That Ruben guy and this Lake Zora fella were both getting up to the top of the stairs, looking. I don't know what was the expression they had again, specifically. Yeah, looking kind of reluctant or hesitant or something, and then going back down the stairs. Ruben did it multiple times.
As if they wanted to go upstairs, but something prevented them, or something made them think twice?
Or as if they just thought twice about something. I don't know if they were being made to do so, just that that's what they were doing.
Right, yes.
I don't have your ability to detect if magic's happening.
Well, I turned towards Charles. What exactly is up there?
Up here.
Wait, they
We're
walked
upstairs.
up. Wait, they walked up towards us and then hesitated. They didn't see you, correct?
I think so. Sure hope not. They didn't look at me. Because Ruben looked like he was carrying books up to the top to put them on shelves, and then just didn't.
Charles, does that sound like anything you're familiar with?
You mentioned Lakes or this Bazra. Ruben usually comes and speaks to me a couple of times while I'm up here. Usually trying to see whether or not I've got a book or something that I haven't checked out properly or something along those lines.
Like he wants to catch you breaking some rule, or?
Maybe. He kind of thinks about it and then says, "Well, I do usually come up here either by myself or with Millie when I'm helping her like study. So."
But this Bazar guy wouldn't know that we were up here, right?
No, not unless anyone told him.
Such as Ruben.
Did it look like he talked to Ruben?
He kind of thinks.
No, did I see him talk to Ruben?
Oh no.
It's like, he didn't talk to him.
I think I think I might just pretend to be a silly witch. I'm going to walk out of the room.
Okay.
I will follow to keep observation from a distance.
And just see if I can run into Ruben and or Basra.
Okay. By the time that you get to, well, you find Ruben fairly easily. Because he's back at the desk at the front. Basra is nowhere to be seen.
Okay.
You
there?
Yes. Hi. Yes. What is it?
Well, first of all, you should probably do something about your hygiene. Secondly, you were walking upstairs just now.
Yes.
What were you going to be doing?
I was going to put some books away, but then I.
And then you
decided not
didn't.
to.
Yes, you decided not to.
And that's your business. How?
Just curiosity.
It's like,
Could
why
you tell me
not?
what made you change your mind?
Well, I would like to think that it's not and or your business. He shrugs.
Well then.
Was a tall rock guy to no, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna Calhoun.
Looks over and using ghost sound to amplify the whispers that she shares, says, I know a little bit about what comes after, and I would suggest that you cooperate, lest you find out what happens too soon.
Intimidation, please.
Yes. I'm not good at this, but I'm going to probably make it fabulous. Never mind, 23.
23. Okay.
Hell yeah.
So he, like, you can see that he, like, does get fairly intimidated by this, but miraculously enough, he holds his ground with a natural 20.
Boo. Well, worth a shot.
But he says that, now this is very inappropriate behavior. After all, you're not even a student here. So
I think Alicia begins laughing. Is like, oh, of course, I'm not a student. No, but I am curious. Because, well your fellow student has been having some worries, and it sounds like you're experiencing the same thing.
But again, that isn't any of your business. After all,
Oh yes, yes it
you're
is.
not a student.
I'm getting paid for this, you see.
Oh, good for you, but again, you're not a student, and you clearly aren't one of the guard. So, how is that my problem?
It's your problem because you're clearly being affected by something. If you don't know why you just walked down there, Makoto says,
Right behind him.
emerging from behind him. Hi.
Look, I don't. I'm going to have to ask.
Look, at this point, it's going to be much easier to cooperate than not. We're going to be very annoying otherwise.
I mean, I could always ask the university security to eject you. That is always an option.
You could, but it would be very much a pain in the ass. And also,
You wouldn't get to find out what's going on.
I don't care what's going on. I've got
I
studying
know-
to do,
look,
and I've got work
I know-
to do.
I know
And
you do, and I know you do. Let me finish. I know that this is an absolute pain in the ass for you, and I know that we're cutting into your time, and it's incredibly annoying for you, and for that, I apologize. But things are being stolen. That is a crime.
And who's
If you
stealing
help us, objects from Charles's room are going missing, some of which are quite valuable. Now, if you could please tell us why you didn't go up there multiple times.
Well, to be frank, I was going to put away some books and then ask Charles if he had once again misplaced a few things. Books, namely, that he hadn't been checking out properly. But it's a little intimidating when, for the first time in a long time, a student has come into the library with an entourage, one of which is a 12-foot-tall Goron in plate mail, and clearly two individuals who seem to like to get in people's very delicate business. It's not exactly
You're not that
welcoming, is
delicate.
it?
You smell.
I know it isn't. And he wouldn't have to do this if people would listen to him. We're only here because other people haven't found anything, or haven't bothered to find anything.
Well, has it also possibly entered the idea for anyone that a clearly sleep-deprived man might be misplacing things and is ultimately getting into his own head? I mean, I get it, I do. Having, be in an instance of feeling like you're being watched or followed or anything, that's scary business. I wouldn't like to be like that myself. But things like this can cause a bit of a spiral, especially if you have a deadline approaching. It could be that he may have taken some things home and left them there, and then, having not slept in a very long time, forgotten, and has decided that this is becoming a larger problem. And if the watch can't find anything, and the guard
My
can't
question
find anything,
isn't if you have anything to do with it. My question is, why didn't you just put the books away? You went upstairs multiple times.
because I said, again, I have to go in that direction to do that, and it's intimidating when 4 people like yourselves are coming in and,
We weren't at the top of the stairs, we were in the room.
I don't care. People are weird. Sometimes
Yeah, I
you get
noticed.
intimidated enough to not want to be on the same street or city as another person. Just because there's a wall between myself and the 4 of you doesn't necessarily mean I'm any more assured of your presence, does it?
I mean, you're right, but it is kind of weird that you have this kind of anxiety for people that you barely know.
It's a scary
Hmm.
world. Have you been outside? There's giant boars
Yes.
and lion men.
Yes, we fought some of them.
And exactly, that's why you're scary to me. That just makes it more scary to me now that you fought things like that you're capable of taking on things like that. Why would someone need an entourage like yourself if they're just coming in to study in a library? Like,
He doesn't.
I turned to Makoto.
why am I being
This
the
is
unreasonable
the effect
one
I
here?
have on people.
Being the unreasonable one because you're deciding not to help us because you're just being weird, air quotes. Now, we are going to get our jobs done as quickly as we possibly can, and we are going to get out of your hair. Because, to be frank, I don't want to be in it.
Speaking of being in your hair.
Just gonna grab the back of Leisha's
Okay.
collar and pull her away and go,
Okay.
if you think of anything, please tell us so we can get away faster. Thank you. And then I will get you upstairs, like... Yeah, he's just being obstinate for the... He's just being obstinate for the sake of being obstinate at this point.
As you're pulling me away, the moment before I'm pulled out of eye shot, out of sight, I go, I know what you look like!
Yeah, that's not
Good
helping.
for you, I guess.
He goes like, that's not helping.
I have humanoid form.
Do you really want to look like that guy?
To cause some vandalism? In broad daylight? With a lot
Yeah,
of
we're not.
snob
Yeah,
watching?
we're not. Yeah, we're not here to frame people.
We could.
That's.
In case
I don't
it
wanna-
comes up, in case it's
I-
necessary.
I don't want to do that.
I
We're
kind of
better
want to
than-
do it because
it's
it's
like-
funny.
We're better than that.
You might be.
I'd like for you to be better than that.
Well, I appreciate
Disappoint
that.
Makoto, are you?
I don't know how much we've learned from that. Sorry for dragging you into that.
Nothing, because he was being an asshole.
Yes, he was. And I think that's the sound of our game master wanting to wrap up the session.
More or less, yeah. We are at time. Yeah, as you kind of like go to regroup and decide what your next move is, that is where we'll end the session for the night. Thank everybody so much for listening / watching. I have been Articulate T, the Storyteller. This has been Hyrule Chronicles, A Few Rupees More, a Pathfinder 2nd Edition campaign. And with me, as always, I have Leisha being played by Crest Nether.
I know what you look like.
I have Alvarance playing Ander.
We have to work on Leisha's people skills.
I have Melody
Yes,
being
I need to
played
be
by
more
Robo
intimidating.
Pirate.
If they were the bad cop, shall we go play good cop?
And I have Danny Cat playing Makoto.
Why do you think Makoto went with Alicia?
And we'll see y'all next time.
He knew that was gonna happen.
Take care, everybody. Bye bye now.
Goodbye.
Yeah.